Okay, similar concept here. Sword is a big theme for this year, so we're going to start with this. But actually, I was asked to go over some stuff from our class this past Thursday night, and so happens it ties in directly with what we're working here. So I want to play with this for a few minutes as well, and then we'll get into, again, dealing with a skilled opponent who's doing the kinds of things that we're doing. Okay, so let's say you're coming down from Daijodan no Kamae, and I'm going to be in. Let's move over here a little bit. And okay, you're able to track us with that? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Actual distance-wise, you know, you want to be able to come in and just nail me right in the head with that with a single step. Okay, so that's proper distance for him and for me. And I probably want to try to be just a little outside that, right? So that, you know, he's trying to get to the edge of that envelope where he can move, and I'm trying to just keep him at that edge until I want him to attack. All right. So I'm going to start in Chudan, not in Seigan, but in Chudan no Kamae. And what I'm going to be doing is, as I move, if I've got a good Kamae here, you know, he really can't attack, because the point where he does, you know, it's really easy to forestall that, right? Or for me to, once again, okay, it just takes a very slight movement. All right, so there has to be an appearance of a broken Kamae or of one that's, you know, just not quite right. All right. So as I do this, I'm going to do two things. One, if you notice right now, my body weight's a little bit forward, you know, a little aggressive looking. And if however, I just start to shift my weight a little bit while also, see, I kept the same orientation of the sword to my body, but you can't really see this on the camera, but by the time I shift, don't attack yet, because I will die. If by the time that I shift like this much, because of the way my weight's going, if I don't change the orientation of my body to stay on track with him, then by the time I shift like to here, even though the Kamae still looks good, relative to him, it's just a little bit off in this direction. And again, a skilled swordsman will instantly exploit that opening. He's going to be coming in for the closest target, which is my wrists, right? So I just shift a little bit to give him that opening. He comes in, kaboom. And now I'm a left-handed swordsman at best. You know, my career's over as a samurai, all right? So we're shifting around. He tries to get that opening. And as he does, we're here. Now again, you notice I'm not immediately going for the kill, all right? What I'm doing, as he comes down, this is hard to see, but as he starts bringing his sword down, there is a space, very, very slow, right there that I can move through, okay? And in point of fact, if I do this correctly, do it again, and yeah, like that, fast. So, okay, just by this, I can move right through that space without even moving my body, without getting cut. I don't recommend it, not with real swords, okay, because your timing does have to be exactly right, but it's a way of illustrating the point, so to speak, that if you take, right at the point where that space, see, I can't wait and look for it, okay? This applies to everything else we've done this morning too. My wife came up with the analogy of driving on a freeway. Jack used it again at the Buyu camp recently. You know, if you're a new driver, you're getting out of the freeway for the first time, there you are on the entrance ramp, you know, and all these cars are, you know, past there, and you're, oh my God, how am I going to get out there? Okay, but after you've been doing it for a while, you know, if you're trying to do it by waiting until you see the opening, the space between the cars as they're going by the time you see it, it's too late for you to reach it. Okay? So what you're doing is you're looking at the overall pattern and shape of movement of the traffic, and you're seeing those openings about to appear, and you move your car out there nice and smoothly so that you will be there at the point where the opening appears. Okay? That's all we've been doing all morning. Okay? So now the same thing here. Again, like I said, I don't really recommend this, but as he's bringing the sword down, there will be a point at which, go ahead, there, okay? And it's just, just shaving hair off my arm here. From the other side. Again, as a combat technique, this is unrealistic. I don't recommend it, but I'm going to have you play with it for a minute, okay? So as a training drill, though, just from here, give him an opening, right there. Okay, go ahead and play with it a few times. Okay, now as I said, that in itself is not really realistic, but it's a good exercise, doing it with no ashisabaki, no movement of the foot, to be able to know where the space is going to be and to be there to fill it when it arrives. Okay, so we're going to do something based on this, but a little more realistic. Once again, we're going to do essentially the same thing, but this time with some body movement, okay? So again, give him a little bit of an opening, and when he goes for it. Now, notice the angle of my sword here. Okay, I'm not straight in here this time. Watch again. I'm not doing that, okay? Because I'm not trying just to kill him right away, okay? I want to let him make some decisions here, along the line of, do I really want to live or die? Kind of leaving it up to him, okay, for now. All right, so I'm just to here. This is not pointed at him here. It's actually like across this shoulder. Also the angle, it's not straight this way, but here. Okay, so again, I want to be controlling all of this space here, so that from there, if he tries to do something to continue the fight, okay, I'm able to do that. I mean, I'm able to do something to preempt that, or cause him to run into something bad, before he can actually reach me. Once again. So, okay, and then again from here, he starts to move and do whatever. Okay. And he's the one who's creating that, because I'm just getting to the good space, letting him do whatever he wants. Okay, and it's too late. Okay, from the other side here. So for now, just work on finding that spot, and see, it's a combination of being in the right place, but also using your weapon and your body positioning to shape the space so that you have an advantage. Now again, it's a position where it looks like he's got options, but you're able to forestall anything he might do if he shows further aggression from that point. Okay.
Shielded well behind you too.
Yeah, I'm essentially using the sword, almost as a shield, but not from the standpoint of like getting over here and whoa, and see, trying to block the sword. No, because again, once I've got pressure here, he can find me. The way Terry puts this all the time is, once you grab the guy, for instance, he's got a feeling of some intention and resistance there, and the other person will instantly know what your position is, where all your body parts are, and everything, and his relationship to them, without even having to see you. Okay, so again, you want to deny him that data, and just be in a good spot where, whoop, you're able to continue moving, but he can't do anything. Okay, go ahead and play with this now. Find that spot. After you get there, stop for a second, just check your position, and see, again, this is pointing like past his shoulder here, right? He can't quite reach me from there, all right? But now, if he does try anything from that point, okay, all right? Okay, go ahead. Right. Okay, so next step, let's switch here. We'll do the same thing, move into the same spot and everything, but now instead of checking yourself, make sure you got your position, and then let him try to do something, this time, keep moving. And again, what you should be responding to is not specifically what he's trying to do with the sword, but with the change in the shape of the space. Okay, so that as he's moving, he's creating the openings that are going to kill him. Right? So again, take this slowly. Give him his opening as he comes in, shifting over to here. Keep moving. Okay? And then, now obviously, you know, he could choose just to bail out at that point and run away. And if so, that's fine. You know, that's okay. But, you know, presuming he's really trying to kill you, then you're shifting, he does whatever he does, and just flow with it, because he's now trying, again, it doesn't look like it, but even though he made the first quote-unquote attacking move, you actually have taken the initiative by, first of all, you've given him that opening, right? So you're ready for this. And then as this is happening, okay, as that's happening, he's turning and moving and trying to catch up to you, so that you're actually the one that has the initiative, and he's trying to respond to what you're doing in some way that's going to be effective. Take the space. You don't have to do the same thing every time. Just get to that spot and go with whatever's there. Okay, so play with that now. Keep moving now. Slow, but keep moving. Okay. Nick, please. Yeah, from Daijodan again. I'll stay in Chudan. Again, this is not so much because we're working on the sword right now, although that is a major theme for the year, but again, just to kind of reinforce some of these same concepts of working with the shape of the space and using a weapon, whether it's a part of your body or an extension of it or whatever, to kind of maintain control of the shape so that you're able to do something with it. So we're going to have the same initial attack coming in, and now, see, I'm moving out of the way. It doesn't matter whether he gets this or not. He's coming for the wrist. Yes, good. Okay. So as that happens, I'm dropping this, all right? So, once again from the other side. Really, the important thing is this, okay? So I'm out here in my kamae, maybe even, wait a sec, maybe even, you know, extending my wrist a little too much, so it's a real inviting target, right? And again, weight's kind of aggressively forward. Okay, well if as he comes in, I just straighten up and let this drop, he's out of range. I haven't really had to do much of anything, okay? Although in this case, what I'm going to do is not this, but I'm actually going to drop and move forward. Now as I do that, I'm also, see, I'm turning, so I want to use this to maintain control of the space here, okay? So it's hard for him to move in and cut me from there. You know, if he does, I can, so we're here, okay? And I'm moving on in. So that now, even if he's trying to move to respond to me, if you notice here now, I'm in that kind of magic spot right by the tsuba here and taking his balance and his movement where he really can't do anything. Okay, again. You can use a little more distance. So here, right there. And what I'm doing is, again, I'm putting myself in that spot where, okay, even if he's moving in to get me, this is still going to forestall it. And by the time, you know, I don't necessarily want to get here and try to cut, because there, okay, at the point where I'm raising it. So it can't be a static thing of going here and then, no, this doesn't work, right? It's got to be and I'm moving. Okay, and at that point, even if he is turning to follow me, I can. Something else I did on that, because of the positioning, was from here as he came in, it was a pushing cut rather than trying to pull through. Because if I were pulling with that, and let's say I get here, okay, and he's trying to cut me, that just pulls him into me. All right, so depending on how the distance actually works out as you're doing this, I'm not saying you're trying to do one or the other. You're really not. Just see what you can do when you get, see, again, I'm controlling the same way we were here. Okay, let's take it from the other side. So, here, okay. So it's here, here. Now the other thing is I'm not doing this. I'm not trying to do this by, like, notice how I'm doing that by moving my arms and moving the point. You know, it's the point flips over here and stuff. No, actually, if you try to do that, what'll tend to happen is something like, oops. Okay? I'm not doing that. I'm doing it by pushing the kashira up and out. This kind of is a pivot. It almost stays where it is. This way. It makes everything move much more quickly. In fact,
Sword's heavy. So.
yeah. And again, watch the point. Here's what you don't want to do. I've just created a big elliptical opening for him with that. Okay? And now, let's do this very slow, but I want you to watch the point again and see how much the point moves. Okay? All right, so here. Again. So, and now I can see. Again, you've got multiple directions you can go once you're there. But here. Okay, let's play with that for a minute. Okay, so when it gets to the point where you're dealing with 3-foot razor blades, it should be even more obvious than in the unarmed taijutsu that you need to keep your movement continuous. You can't afford to have a break or a stop in between movements. No stopping point. Okay, now something analogous to this that we were doing also on Thursday. Again, Garland wanted me to specifically bring this out. Same kind of movement concept, but in an unarmed context. Okay, and again, since we were in a kamae with the sword, we'll start like in an unarmed seigan no kamae kind of thing, of letting him punch, giving him an opening there, boom, okay, and then as we do this, it's kind of analogous to the dropping the hands. He tends to pursue that, okay? So boom, here, okay? So this comes from just a change of perspective. When I get to here, whoop, okay, I mean, if I want to hit him over on this side of his body, I can't do it from here unless I come into here. But again, he's going to, he's going to see the shape changing there, and already if I start to swing back here, he's going to be starting to move in response to that, and okay, this is not good for me. Okay, so let's take this slow here. But in terms of the perspective from here, as I've done this, there is a nice opening right over here, and it's just a matter of moving my body to meet that. Okay, because actually the strike is done just like with what I was doing with the sword. The strike is not actually being done with the weapon itself, whether it be the sword or my fist or whatever. It's being done by the body. Okay, so I can move my body around over here and still hit him over here. All right, one more time. Yeah. So over here, whoosh, boom, here. Okay, one more time. Here. Okay. And of course you can add stuff onto that. Boom, okay. This kind of thing. Sorry. And also by the same token, as you move, since as we're doing this, This is already over here. Why waste it, right? So,
Steve?
here. Okay, so let him run into that. Then, okay. The strike could also, you know, the strike in here could also be a shuto or any number of other things. It doesn't matter. Boom, here, right? But you can just keep that shape if you want. You're just, it's really just letting it go heavy and letting your body drop. Slow. Here, boom, here. Okay, go ahead and play with that for a minute. Okay, and obviously this kind of thing doesn't have to be just a strike either. Now again, you're not trying to do a choshidori kind of thing where you bring his his fist off target or something like that, or you know, having him follow it necessarily. That's not the idea. You're just trying to move in such a way that his attention is going up here while you're hitting him here. Watch again. Let him run into that. Then from there, boom. Okay. And as I said, it obviously doesn't have to be a strike. You also don't have to worry about where his arm is. If you end up somehow with your arm being under his as you start to move or something, I mean, that's okay too, because you're still, see, it's not offering any resistance. It's just, sorry, slamming in there. But again, it needn't be a strike either. You know, you can hear boom, right? And now we're just here. Okay. You can turn it into any number of things, including like here, throw. Right. So it's all up to you, but it's the same kind of movement, same concept. You're here and wham, okay, boom. Okay, so now, again, similar idea of, again, let's switch around here. Just taking a different perspective on the space. I mean, if he's trying to punch me, the space that that punch needs to reach me is relatively small, you know. It's going through space here, and of course, as it's going from wherever it is, there may be a little wobble of the arm or the body movement causing it to come out around one way or another, whatever. That doesn't matter, okay? It's still a relatively small amount of space. There is a whole lot more space that it's not using, and so I just want to put myself in position to use that other space rather than contest the space with it. So in this case, we'll do the same kind of thing here, but now, okay, watch that again very slowly. So we're here, and I'm, again, drawing this up here as I move, right? Drawing his attention. And I'm coming around here. This. Okay, it's an aspect of Tai-Hinjutsu, or in Japanese, literally body-changing art or skill. Okay, so I'm adapting the movement and the shape of my body to accommodate the shape of the space that I want to use to reach the target. One more time. So here, home. Then it's simple to come in and hit, or okay. Just for moving.
What's funny is, like, because you're going like this, I'm doing that also.
Yes, yeah, you tend to accommodate that shape too.
Yeah.
Right. Boom. Okay. So again, many opportunities in terms of different things that you can do from that. Okay, go ahead and play with that for a couple minutes. Again, I was pointing out it doesn't have to be hitting. You know, it creates the opportunity from this for other things too. You know, here as I move, you can tie them up all kinds of ways. Okay. Here, right. Just by continuing to move. Okay. Okay, there's all kinds of ways you can go with it. So, a couple more times. Okay, we are not going to be able to get as far along with this concept as I'd like to, because we had to spend so much time on the build-up to it. But you can extrapolate from where we're going to go next and see what you can do with this. let's see, Nick, if you please. Okay, if you recall back at the beginning, we were just focusing on going from Chizen no Kamae, the guy comes in with a punch, and you're just working on getting to this good space where you can continue to move and control the shape of it as it develops, as it evolves through time. Okay, so let's say now, well, let's say our positions are reversed, which now they are, and I'm punching at him, and he does that. Okay, so we're coming in here, and then gets to that spot, right? And I decide, yeah, well, okay, but from here I can go ahead and start to do something here, right? So for now, just for the sake of keeping something consistent, let's say that's what I'm going to do. All right, once again. So I move in to get him, boom, right, and he's moved over here. So I try to go ahead and immediately take him into an armbar. Now, we know perfectly well that we've got all kinds of things in terms of a lot of formal techniques where somebody starts to apply it, and as you feel that, you flow with it, you can reverse it on them in a bunch of ways and do all kinds of nasty stuff to it. But what I'd like to play with right now is this idea of I'm going to punch or no, you're going to punch, I'm going to start wing. This starts getting complicated when you start doing counters to counters and stuff. You try to got to remember, you know where you're trying to go, but okay, which person has to start what in order to get it there? All right, so so I'm going to be punching. You're going to start to take me in the armbar, right? Okay. So we're coming in here, kaboom, right, and he starts to take me in an armbar here. Now, what I want you to do is rather than just, No. I want to punch. He's going to do the armbar, but take the lead arm. Take the lead arm. That's the one I was doing. So as I move in, no, you're in, she's in. Just relax, right? And I haul off to hit you. Boom, and you immediately start to take, yeah, that kind of thing. Okay. So now, rather than just flowing with it and getting out of it like we would typically do, like this. Watch. Here, boom, he starts to do it. Right. Okay, fine. I just reverse it on him. Right. Instead of doing that, I want you to actually, we'll start the same thing here. Boom, he starts to do this, now stop. Okay, now I want you to actually feel, take the time, stop at that point, and feel how little it takes to change things. Okay, so we're still going to flow with this, but slow it way, way, way down. Okay, so now as you start to do this, just that tiny little change of alignment, okay? I've already, okay, so in other words, I want you to try to discover how little you actually have to do to change the situation to your advantage. Okay, so again, I'm coming in with a punch, boom, okay, he starts to do this, stop, and feel where you are and what you can do from there, okay? If I just change, in other words, he actually is taking me off balance with this, right? So I don't have to like move to, I got my balance back, right? No, but I can still just be in the process of starting to regain my balance. Okay, so we're going for little very, very fine details of movement here. Here, boom, he starts to do this, right? There. Okay. So again, I'm still off balance. I mean, it's not good. My balance is not good. But all I got to do is keep moving. So again, boom. He starts, stop. Okay. He's just about to take me right down there, right? All right. What? I'm not doing it from here. Although I am letting my arm relax, but right now, the way he's got it, the arm is locked. It can't just relax, okay? But I can change the shape of all this so that I have the space to let my arm relax with my knees, watch, and my hips. Just that. Okay, play with that a little bit. Okay, same principle applies, but I just screwed this up by mistake in terms of who's supposed to be doing what. One more time. So what should be happening here again, the same thing's going on, but again, we need to reverse here. What should be happening is I'm the one who's initially getting out of the way, okay, or is it? Boy, I'm getting all kinds of confused here. Now, if I can just do this stuff, we're fine, but I'm trying to work out a logical, constructive sequence, and it's punch at me. Okay, so I'm moving over to this spot, and from there, yeah, I want to move. You decide that you can go. As I start moving, you decide, okay, so we are doing it right. All right, one more time. I'm punching at him. He gets to his sweet spot, right? And at this point, you know, I start to continue to move and do something, and no, because we were doing this, and I was thinking, okay, I can't hit him from there, but I can take him in an armbar. So yeah, so the person punching is the person that starts to do the armbar. I think I have that straight down. All right. Oh, one more time. Okay. So he's punching at me. I get over here. And I'm in that good spot, and he thinks he hit there. Okay. So now, same deal though. You know, notice he's taking me right toward my front weak line here, right? Which normally is, you know, kind of sucks, right? If you're on the receiving end. So I'm going to, and again though, watch the knees. Just that is enough. Okay. All right. So again, he's punching. I'm getting out of the way and doing this good thing. And, okay. Okay. So as he starts to apply that, first have him stop right at the point where you're about to go. Okay. Tell him to stop, and then just feel what you can do to start changing it a little. I can do it in different directions. See, again, with the arm locked here, I can't just, you know, very easily do something here. But if I do it indirectly from down here, whether it be changing this way, changing this way, changing by sinking the hip back a little bit here, just and any little thing like that. And it doesn't really, because it's coming in directly rather than from here, it doesn't give him any immediate data or feedback as to where this is coming from. Okay? But it's enough to allow you to move within that space. Okay, go back to it. Okay, similar idea here. We also did some stuff where, again, the guy punches and you're just moving to the outside over here, right? And then again, the idea was you, instead of trying to do something immediately, you continue to move a bit to draw him into doing whatever he wants to do and do something with that, right? Same thing from the other side. So just shifting out over here, and as he continues, you know, doing something to interrupt. All right. So now, he punches, or no, yeah, I punch at him, and and he shifts to the outside, right? And just is in that good spot where now I want to do something like, oh, press this arm down and hit him here, all right? Let's take that same thing from over here. So again, I punch, he gets out of the way, and I want to like, boom, okay? That. So again, you know, you're working with the other person's movement, and we're using a later timing than we would normally do, okay? Because I want to get this to like the worst case scenario where you've really hosed it badly and let yourself get baited into trying to get him with that second shot, and then he's starting to exploit it, okay? So again, I'm punching him now, he moves to his good spot, he starts to move, and again, I was starting to, you know, do something with this. Okay, and so he's going to exploit that, like by interrupting, okay? Punctus interruptus. So we're here, and boom, okay? So now, as we're doing this, we're here, boom, he starts moving, I'm following, okay. Again. So no, I'm punching and you're getting out of the way and starting to counter this punch. As this again, it's like already on the way here, he's also affecting my balance. All right, let's turn around the other way for the camera here. Okay, he's already, he's got some control of the arm. This is like already here. Okay. Again, get to that point and see how little you actually have to move. Okay. So I can already, by the time that this is here, I can already tell ain't happening. Okay. But again, I'm responding to the whole shape of his movement here. One more time. Here, here. Oh, okay. It doesn't take much. I'm just letting my shoulder come up. Okay. There it is. Oh. Okay. Play with that. Okay. Another point that I want to make about this, and it's an important aspect of what I'm trying to get across, is that again, we're using a later timing for our response, okay, when things have already gone further south than you would normally like to allow them to go. And along with that, what makes it possible to do it from there is not just the fact that you're moving from areas where the opponent doesn't expect, but the fact that you're really trying to work to see what is the smallest movement that you can make that can be effective. And it really doesn't take very much to change things enough so that you can regain the initiative and the advantage. That actually buys you time. You can be later in the application of somebody else's technique because you're not having to move so much. So it doesn't take as much time. Make sense? Big movements, lots of time. Small movements, not much time. So you don't have to even be moving very fast. But if you're only having to move like that much, compared to the other guy who's trying to get his punch from wherever it is to where you are, it's effectively a lot faster. Okay? So once again, in terms of what's happening here, let's say you're punching at me. The idea is I'm getting off to my happy place here. Okay? He punches at me and I go to my happy place. And then I'm still moving, and so I'm creating that opening with my movement to draw him in here. And then as his punch is coming in, I'm doing something to disrupt it there. Okay? One more time. So go to the happy place, keep moving. Here, this time I'm punching over. If I were coming underneath, it'd be a comparable thing. We'll do that in a second. But get out of the way, go to your happy place, he punches, and as we're doing this, so he's just created an opening there that, really, this is kind of like that shape in the space that we were working with the sword earlier. So as he punches, I'm continuing to shift and boom. Okay, but the point is, as we're doing this, I'm still here. If I'm going to hit him, even though he's giving me that opening and that's shaping up very nicely, look at the amount of space this has to travel to reach him. Now watch how little he has to move there to cause it to miss. So that's the concept there. Okay. Now same idea. If the punch itself is coming from underneath, so this would be I'm getting out of the way, and the punch is coming in here. Punch is going to come in from underneath here. Okay. Similar idea, but instead of going over the top here, we're coming underneath. Okay, let's see if you can do that. So I'm punching at you, all right? We're here, and we start to move, and now as I'm opening myself up here, yeah. Okay, here. All right. Let's see, punch at me again. So I'm moving over here, and yeah, so now see I'm turning with that, it's coming through here. With my right. Okay, so here, there, coming through there. All right, well again, here, Here. Oh, okay. So again, I don't have to move a whole lot from that. Who was punching? I was punching. I was starting. All right. I go first. Here. Boom. And as again, you keep moving to open up so that I really want to go for it. And now, okay. Again, there's a number of ways you can approach it, but same idea here. Oh, he opens up. I'm going. Oh shit. Okay, because again, I don't have to move too much. Here. Very small movement. Stop. Now again, get to this point. Okay, this is coming like up through here. It's like already almost there. And then again, just see how little you have to move. Okay, play with it from that standpoint. Go ahead. Okay. The other aspect of this, in addition to not having to move very much, small, subtle movements will do it, is the fact that when you're fighting, something that the teachers in Japan are constantly emphasizing, you shouldn't be using more than about 50% of your own commitment to the attack, so that you're able to continue moving and flowing with what the other person does as you become aware of it. Along with that is the fact that changing your movement, redirecting, all this kind of thing, is far easier if you're already in motion. Doesn't matter what that motion is, as long as there's some movement going on already, then it's easy to move various parts of your body, shift your weights in different ways and stuff like that. Whereas if you get to some point and stop and start again and try to stop and start, and it takes a huge amount of time that you don't have. Okay, so what makes this relatively easy to do is, again, the fact that you don't have to move very much, and also the fact that when you're doing your attack, like with Brian, I come in with my first attack, he gets out of the way over here, right? And oh yeah, I can get him, but I still don't want to be just going, wha-boom, okay? It's still relaxed up to the point where I'm just about there, so that as he starts doing something, I can still feel and move and go with that. Okay, once again. So I move in, he starts to do this, okay, fine, I can still. Because again, I'm working off the continuing shape of the space, so that even though he got out of the way, and even though he's in a position of relative advantage, and even though I've screwed it up even further by starting to try to chase him, I can still be okay. Okay, play with it a little bit more. Okay, then the next kind of thing we were doing was somebody closing the distance in, they're already close in, and they're like grabbing to punch kind of a deal, right? And so one of the first ones we were doing on that was he grabs, and we're just moving over here. Actually, no, the first one we were doing was he's grabbing, and we're just moving over here to suppress whatever's happening. Right, so we're just moving. Okay, again. Let him, Okay, so now he obviously can't do what he was trying to do, which was the grab and punch bit, right? But he very well might want to try something else. So I'm doing it to you this time. I come in and grab you, and we're going this way, remember? Once again. So you let him have the grab, but you start immediately changing the space, and it's like, oops, can't do it, right? Okay, at that point though, again, you need to keep moving so that I have an idea of what I might want to do. Okay, so you're drawing him into something else. I mean, you can be going ahead and starting to do a technique at that point if you want, but the idea is, regardless, you keep on moving. Okay, so I'm coming in with the grab, he's moving, right, and yeah, and I'm starting to follow. Okay, so at that point, here's my second shot, okay? Where I try to do something to bail out of it, right? So fine, we'll just take that here. Okay, again, so I'm reaching to grab him, and he's moving to suppress that, right? So I start to do something different. So again, here. Okay, so now I'll let him go ahead and from this point try to do whatever he wants to do in response to my movement. Okay, and at the point where this time, whatever you're doing, I'm not going to try to tell you to do anything specific, okay? But whatever you're doing, I want you to stop just at the point where you can feel my balance is going, okay? So I'm in here, and okay, and then we start to shift, and he starts to do whatever, and oh, he's got my balance right, okay? So this is how I want you to work this. Stop at that point. Watch again. So I'm attacking, and he's moving to suppress, and we're moving, he's starting to do whatever, and again, he can feel that he's got my balance just ready to go. Okay? He's just ready to slam me down. Stop at that point, and then, okay, and then feel again how small a movement you need. Again. So, here, stop, okay, good, ready to go, all right? So again, just stop and feel where you can go from there. There's all kinds of possibilities, okay? Try to do that without breaking this thing. Can you still hear me? Okay. So, again, don't try to just go into stuff all at once or too quickly. Take the time to feel out where some movement possibilities, some empty space you can move through that he's not controlling, where those points may be. Here, and he stops again. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's play with it that way. So we're not doing complete flow on this yet. We get to the point where you can just feel the person's balance ready to go, stop, and then let him feel where he can go from there. All right, go ahead. Okay, so this time, again, work slow and kind of feel it out, but add some flow to it, and again, kind of feel how far you can go, and try to feel for that point where you're almost gone, how far you can go, and still be able to bail out and do something with it. Okay, so as we start slow, I'm coming in here, grabbing. You should have started moving already, isn't it? Okay, so here, he's already moving. He's suppressing this. He's starting to do something. Okay, fine. Okay, again. Okay. See, he almost had me on that. Yeah. One more. Huh? Yeah, okay, so again, flow with it, but see how far you can take it and still bail it out. All right, go ahead. Guy coming at us with a bear hug. Okay, so so guys coming with a bear hug, remember we're doing like this kind of thing. Okay, just changing the angle, shifting over a little bit. We were initially going to the outside. All right, so just this, and then you got room to do all kinds of stuff within that space, right? So this time I move in on him, and he starts to do whatever, right? Again. So So, okay, and now as he's as he's starting to do that, okay, he's really got a spot now where again I'm off balance, okay, and he's ready to just dump me down. You can go ahead and do that. Don't break the equipment. All right. All right. Once again, so we get to that spot. Let him stop. Okay. Here. Whoop, oh boy! Here, I'm about to go. All right. Just go ahead and get there. Okay, now see, I'm just about to be gone. And then again, just kind of feel where you can go from there. And in case you weren't able to tell what was going on, that was exceedingly naughty. But so, whoops, I'm doing here. All right, so I come in here, and I'm just about to go, but now. Okay, so get to that spot, feel where it is. Whoop, about to go. Okay, and then just again from here, just feel where you can do what you can do to shift things. Yeah, quit choking yourself like that, man. A nice karate choke on himself. Okay. So again, get to the magic spot. All right. And again, feel where you can go. Okay, go ahead. Bear hug again, but this time you're shifting over into the inside versus, I mean, in terms of which leg is moving first, it would be considered the inside line of the attack. Okay, so shifting into here and then, you know, getting set to do whatever. Okay. So I do that to you, and yes, he's coming in this way. All right, and again, feel where that spot is as you start to move, and he starts to take advantage of it, right? Okay, right to the point where you're ready to go, and see what you can do to change that. Okay. And then, of course, again, after you've done this a while, then start getting a little more flow into it. But first, you want to, wait, no, I'm attacking you, sorry. Oh, okay. First, you want to find that spot where you're just ready to go, okay? Whoops, yeah, there. Okay, all right. Okay, what you know? So in, boom, and he's got me. Okay, that's it right there. So again, there are all kinds of directions you can go, but just feel for that spot where again he's just ready, right?
Killer with feet today.
One more time. Okay. So he was starting to get an arm bar here, right? There's the spot. Where'd he go? Okay. 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 Go ahead and play with it. Okay, we're out of time. Sorry, I'd love to continue with this, but we have no more time. Okay. Now we could get into this same concept with the sword, and we should, and we will, but I mean, we have already this year in the dojo. But those of you who were here who haven't been through that stuff with us, at least you can get the tape or the CD or whatever, and you can, again, just from having been here, you can kind of extrapolate in terms of where that can go with other things. Because again, today at least, we're not dealing with formal techniques, but with concepts. So everybody go ahead and line up, and we'll get ready to bow out. But I want to make some additional comments as we do this. Okay, and that's still on? Okay, so I can still be heard. All right, again, another thing with this, and it's very much a part of the overall approach in training. actually not only this year but last year and to a great extent the year before as well too, is not doing things with any intention that the attacker can pick up and read. Okay, and that means not only in terms of your physical movement, not giving him any data, but in terms of your mindset too, because again, the mind and the body both affect each other, and how you're feeling and thinking, what you're doing with your mind is going to affect what happens with your positioning, your movement, your timing, everything else with your body. Okay, and if in terms of our approach, if you're doing anything with any sort of attachment to the outcome, you know, in other words, if you're trying to fight the guy, okay, that already presupposes you're trying to do something to him. You're essentially putting yourself in a mental space where you're trying to beat him. Okay, and what beating somebody is about, basically, is about proving a point. And the instant that you're trying to do that, the instant you're trying to fight this guy, trying to beat him, you're channeling your thoughts and intention in a certain way that's going to close you off to your ability to perceive and take advantage of a whole variety of opportunities.
Rather than proving the point you're trying to illustrate here.
Say again?
Rather than proving your point, you're trying to
Yeah, exactly. Rather than proving your point, you're trying to you end up illustrating the point that you need to be detached. And you know, on the other hand, it's kind of a conundrum, because if you're thinking, well, yeah, but this is for life and death stuff, and that should be pretty intense, right? No. Because if all that you're doing is not fighting with the guy, but just working with the shape of the space between you, then he's kind of taken out of the equation. Okay, there is no fight going on. And you actually, by keeping yourself free and able to move in any direction, mentally as well as physically, you're able to respond to all the subtle, minute changes that may be going on in terms of things he may try to do to counter, or things that may just naturally happen. You know, your foot slips on a banana peel, or you're stepping back out of the way and your foot hits something, you know, or you bump into some object. You can rebound off of that and keep working with things as they change, because you're not attached to the result taking any particular formal shape. There's no formal shape involved. Okay, you're just literally just playing with it. Okay, there was something else I wanted to try to get across along with that from a conceptual standpoint, but I'm darned if I can remember what it is right now. And your brains are probably pretty well fried by now anyway, so.
no attachment.
Yeah, no attachment, right. Oh, yeah. Actually, that helped, because all that, first of all, it's going to be easier if instead of thinking about beating the guy, you're just thinking about surviving and escaping. That doesn't put any onus on you to have to beat him. Okay? You may do that in the process of surviving and escaping, but that's fine. Although ideally, you really shouldn't be hung up on the idea of just surviving either. Because if you value your life too much, I mean, in this context, if you place too much value on your own life and trying to preserve it, then again, that can end up being the way that you lose it. Okay? This all starts to sound really esoteric and biblical and Zen and all that kind of stuff, but it's, you know, as you play with this stuff, it's literally true. Kind of like in same attitude as with mutodori, you know, unarmed stuff versus a swordsman. It's really not a good situation to be in the first place. It's damn near hopeless. All right. But there are two ways that you can be sure that you won't get out of it alive. And one of those is to try to get in past the blade to take the guy out. The other is if you try to escape the blade. Either way, you will get nailed. You have to be able to place yourself mentally, as well as in terms of your movement, in a place where you're not attached to attacking the guy and taking him out, or avoiding the blade and trying to escape. It's the only way you can do it without getting cut down. Very similar thing here. So we need to close out. Anybody have any closing comments, questions, observations?
I'd just like to say I've been refused, but thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Well, thanks very much. It's great having you here too. Hope you'll come back sometime. Anybody else? Anything? Okay. Alrighty then. Let's bow out. Shiki Narubi Tsudai Komyo. Thank you all for coming. Good time. Thank you for coming. Oh, it's great having you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Anytime you get back on this side of the water,